Hey folks, welcome back. Sorry for a bit of a delay in getting this one up, but we are continuing our game with the Dante update, where we're just exiting the early modern era as the Mughals. And we've pretty much secured our continent. This brown player down here is a vassal of ours, and we are in the Fame lead, so we're looking at closing out the game. And I was thinking about who I want to pick for the next era, and I'm actually thinking the British. It has been a very long time since I've played the British. I have a lot of attached territories, so we'll get some value out of colonial riches. We do have a place to build colonial offices in our vassal down here, so we'll get a little bit of value there. But before I select that, I noticed I had this knight sitting up here that had not placed down an outpost yet, so let's go ahead and do that so we can get access to that lead and iron. In the meantime, let's go ahead and take the British as well, and we will enter the industrial era. So it did take me a little bit to get this video up. I am quite busy right now. However, I did finally get access to... Oh, hilarious. I forgot you can overbuild their stuff. Yeah, let's just, like, build some things in their territories. I think that's very funny. I did get access to the Endless Legend 2... kind of early access program, the Insiders program. I cannot discuss anything about it. That's part of the terms of the agreement. You know, I'm not like a partner with Amplitude or anything. But I have played a little bit of it, not as much as I would actually like, but that has occupied a little bit of my free time. And I do intend to play plenty of Endless Legend 2 when it is released. I didn't play like a lot of Endless Legends when the original one came out. It like wasn't quite my style of game. Something about it didn't click for me at the time, in a way that I think it probably will now, being obviously a lot more familiar with Amplitude's games. I'm going to have my capital work on these colonial offices because this has the highest amount of industry. Okay. Hamlets, we actually have a really nice hamlet location here. I'm thinking because I'm overpop on quite a few of my cities at the moment that it would be nice to get a few hamlets. That is the wrong thing there. So the hamlets provide one of every specialist slot, so you can kind of get 4 people to work at once, which is a pretty nice benefit. I'm also looking at a manufactory in here, I think. Let's take a look at our unclaimed wonders, actually. The Statue of Liberty is what I am thinking. Kaiserliche Werft is probably second on the list. So let's grab Statue really quick, and that'll stack really nicely with my legacy trait, right? That extra money and science per number of attached territories. And then the Statue of Liberty will get me the money and science per number of territories in your sphere of influence, which at the moment is 49, as you can see right here. They kind of hide the number there. So it's almost 500, which is like a small city's worth of output, which I find to be quite worthwhile in this era. Let's see. I think it's probably the best bang for the buck overall, though I have warmed up to Kaiserliche Werft a lot, having played more Humankind recently. I've found that like ships have been a lot more useful for me than they have been previously. So Kaiserliche Werft is actually quite helpful, especially given the production costs that are associated with a lot of those buildings. See, I'm at 8 out of 6 cities. I think that's fine for now. I don't need to worry about that. If I were at like 9 out of 6, then I would be concerned, but 8 out of 6 is totally manageable. Let's take a look at our tech. I'm thinking... I mean, maybe we rush for a propeller just to get our navy going. And then down to line formation. I guess we would start with steam engine into propeller. I think that makes sense to me. We could also go for things that'll get our industry up. Steam engine is kind of the start of that path either way. So let's just do steam engine and we'll revisit that in the next turn. And in the meantime, we have a whole bunch of units that are just kind of hanging around. We're going to position them over here, and we're going to start making demands of this player. So the Haudenosaunee are the second place fame scorer player right now. So they are going to be the target of our attack, and they are conveniently located right along the shoreline across from us. So that is going to be quite easy for us to deal with. See, and here, I don't really care about the outcome of this. I will vote against the Haudenosaunee since I'll be going to war with them. And I'm not going to worry about the doctrines. Usually the AI will spend plenty of influence there, and you don't really need to do anything in order to get those effects. I tend to ignore that, which maybe isn't the best thing to do, but That's just kind of how I've learned to play, I suppose. Okay, we've got plenty of money that we're sitting on. I'm just going to buy out a few things in Kerma. Kerma has a ton of overpopulation right now. Let's get a manufactory that'll give us a few more slots. And then, so you don't know if I want to replace a garrison. Maybe we just start filling in some like market quarters in here just to get some more slots on that city. And I think everyone else probably looks okay. We do need to start on statue first, actually. I was going to take a look at stability. I'm thinking about like what cities I might combine later, and I'm thinking like Dapata and Asandavat here might be good candidates, and the Statue of Liberty could potentially help with stability with these cities, so I'm thinking like right here might be a good option. It's actually not fully representing how much science I'm going to get from this. So you saw it gave me like plus 53 science or something, but it's not taking into account the science per number of territories in your sphere of influence. It's just representing the plus 50 science on cultural wonder. We'll buy a few things here too. And let's see if we can get Statue of Liberty down to just a couple turns here. There we go. All right. So set up nicely here. This guy we're going to want to extract onto the water. I have found that come this era, the aggressive like independents tend to ignore your outposts for whatever reason, so you can kind of just get like cheeky little outposts in and they'll leave you alone. Over here, scientific correspondence, I'm going to refuse, but I am going to renounce that crisis, and I'm going to renounce those crises as well. I'm really not concerned about going to war with anyone else other than one particular player. Let's bring this little fleet in here, and we can deal with the remnants of this army. And see if that can actually do anything. Okay, it's just like a bunch of land units that are definitely going to get destroyed by the units that I'm bringing in here. And actually, I put those guys in a position where they can't hit anyone. Let's go here and make sure we destroy these longbows, because they're really the only ones that can do any damage. Honestly, there's like no way for me to lose this fight, so I don't need to manage it super carefully. Okay, as far as tech goes, I'm actually thinking that it might be better for me to delay propeller just because the steam frigate and ironclad are ridiculously expensive to produce. So I might want to spend production on like ships of the line and then upgrade them to ironclads because I do have a lot of money. So maybe I go into mechanization for the extra industry first, and then I can revisit upgrading my ships. And in the meantime, I think all these other armies are basically just going to position down this way. I do want to keep some armies. Yeah, I do have some down here, just in case my vassal decides they want to try to rebel. So I'll just need to keep an eye on that. And we do have some more colonial offices we could get. Actually, I didn't realize this is kind of funny, actually. So if I go to, say, Dapata, and place the colonial office, say, there, 6,640 to buy. Whereas here, it is 4,911. Is it scaling? Is this cost scaling off the city in which you are producing it? That is kind of unusual. That feels really odd to me. So I guess it's actually better to like just build this in your smallest city and then buy it out, which I think is Parson. So let's go like right there, and we can buy that. Yeah, and actually the cost isn't scaling up, right? Because I'm not adding any districts to my own city. I didn't actually quite realize that that's how that worked. Just a little unusual there. Okay. And actually, can I get another one? It's telling me I can, but I don't know where. Maybe they have like, oh, there's an island down here. Actually, I should try to secure that. Maybe I can, I don't want to break off one of those units. Oh, I have some coal that I need, but what I'm thinking is I just grab a knight really quick and send them down that way. Okay, and then over in Parsa, okay, we have some coal that we need to get online. And I don't know, maybe we could do some train stations. I don't think it's really necessary. I think the commodity market makes sense. I've really gone in on gold to a certain extent this game, so I feel like continuing to add to that advantage makes a lot of sense. Don't really, I mean, manufactory would still be nice. It's not like game changing in the city. Let's maybe just add a little bit more industry in here so that it can catch up to the rest of my cities. Probably same thing here as well. We need the bank, we need the commodity market, and then we would like to get over 1,000 industry. I think like 2K, honestly, by the end of the industrial era is a pretty good benchmark and where I like to be. Where did this night come out? Okay, I didn't realize the spawn point was all the way up there. Let's make sure we have adjusted the spawn here just in case I need to produce units there in the future. And this guy is now scouting around for me. Now remember, I am an expansionist, right? So I can just freely trespass in this territory, which is really, really nice for this era, I find. It is really difficult to scout territories in this era because, like, everything has been kind of colonized already, I guess you could call it. So having the expansionist ability in the industrial, I find really helpful to kind of scout around opposing territories. Also really helpful in the early modern if you are playing a game where you're taking it to other continents by the early modern, which I often am. I was just kind of a little delayed in doing that in this game. I'm really curious where I can build that colonial office. Can I build it in East? No. This would actually be a really nice addition, as if you could build it in vassalized city-states. That would be a change I would like to see, since you are quite limited in the number of locations you can actually build it to begin with. Okay, so let's just buy the stock exchange, let's buy the manufactory, and we're at 1,100 industry. I would like to get up a little bit more. I do think, like, if I were trying to optimally play this game, the choice I would have taken probably would have been the Persians, would be my guess. Just that reduced industry cost on things. I just claimed the wrong wonder. That's okay. I'm just going to live with that. I don't mind having Eiffel Tower. I meant to claim Kaiserliche Werft. Where do I want to put this thing? I guess it'll give me some extra industry on stuff. I kind of just want, like, recommendation. 20 industry, actually, from adjacency isn't too bad there. Let's just go ahead and build that. We'll buy out that colonial office, even though it's a terrible place to buy it out because it's way more expensive than if I had made it in a smaller city. Let's see, what else? We can buy that hamlet there so we can fill up a few more slots. We'll finish that market. There we go. And then we'll get Kaiserliche Werft afterwards. Okay, we can trade with the Spanish, which I'm good with. They aren't really a threat to me, I don't think. Yeah, they're, like, way behind, so I'm not concerned about that, and we can renounce that claim on the Maori. What we need to do right now is basically just scout out this territory, figure out where I can attack. Thankfully, Harappa is coastal, which is going to make it very easy for me to train up a navy and go after them. So I actually don't have a port here, which I'm going to need. So let's make sure we get a harbor. And I'm going to boot out the Eiffel Tower there. We'll still get it in 2 turns, so I'm not too concerned about making that little change. And down in Corral, I don't think I really need that there. Maybe we just continue with a few more Maker's Quarters. I know it's kind of like my default. I do think it makes some sense to get this one up and running as it kind of continues to grow. And then maybe we pivot into some science. I do have some okay locations up here, and this dead terrain up in this area is actually really good for science, so I do think I'm going to send this down the science path here. Raw is actually really good for a lot of things because it has both the strategics as well as the luxury resources, so you could kind of do whatever you want. Oh, I didn't realize that there was a crisis for me. I would have supported myself, obviously. Okay, well, I guess I have to surprise war them. Because I am not converting to their silly religion. That would be a ridiculous thing for me to do. And let's see. Going to renounce those. It's like everyone allied with them and they all got a bunch of claims on me. That would be a little funny. Okay. Renounce that. And let's get all of these. A little bit of lead. I can actually get that manufactory now. Where's my other lead? Excuse me. Lead. Where am I looking here? Gnosis, Arena, trade routes. Okay. Actually, there's pearls here that haven't been built. Funny that that's all one territory. So Gnosis actually has the lead, so let's make sure we get that to manufactory. I'll just buy that really cheap. And get a little bit of coal as well. And we also have some coal up here that we need to make sure we add to the queue, and might just buy that one. And then we can like really dramatically increase our industry output. Let's see. Yeah, 160 on the sawmill there. I think I'm going to put that after Eiffel Tower. Let's do something like that. Here, 90 is good. 104. Yeah, I mean, I'll probably just add it in everywhere. I do play with pollution off most of the time. That is the default setting. I know you could change it to beyond, but it's never really been a particularly well-balanced mechanic. So I'm going to buy that harbor here. And then... oh yeah, look at these men of war. Let's just buy those out. That one we can work on producing. And then for tech, we're going to go up into propeller so we can upgrade those even farther. Okay. Knights, head over that way. And okay, we're not at war with anyone else. We can get 25 science for minus 5,000 gold. That's not very good. That, like... I'm not going to be building units here, so I think we'll go with that one, because that gives me basically strictly positive benefits. We'll go for the plus 10 war supports on Colosseum there. Don't need the gladiators. The gladiators are just like the garrison units that you have in cities. Not that important for me. I should have a pretty decent technology advantage here, and I'm not worried about needing more units in this war. Maybe more naval units, but definitely not ground units. Buy out that man of war, and then let's get a few escorts. Idle here. Yeah, they are not sending anyone towards me. I am worried about losing war supports, but I'm only losing one a turn, so it's really not that bad. Okay. Line formation is probably next. Sure, we can go through Carbine to get there. It doesn't really matter to me. Diplomatic cooperation. Yep, good with that. Happy to accept some of the leverage that they pick up. Non-aggression pact with the Aztecs. Yeah, I mean, Aztecs, they're still in the medieval. Definitely not a threat to me. Happy to do that just to, like, increase my relationship with people. No international crises at the moment. Really wish I had been paying more attention to that other one. Didn't even realize that there was a crisis. And still have 2 turns on that. Alright, let's send those units out that way. And all of these units are just going to come prepared to do some real damage to my opponent. Okay. What do we want in Parsa? We could attach, get a little bit more territory in here. Stock exchange gets us a little bit. Sawmill gets us a good amount of industry. I think let's grab the sawmill maybe. I'm just going to buy it out here because Parsa is still a little bit behind some of the other cities that I have. And we'll get a couple more makers' quarters as well. I'm just going to buy one of them. And then maybe we can add in... yeah, let's just add in some of those industrial infrastructures. Okay. Pretty long queue in other places. Kaiserliche Werft, 20k influence to grab. Really wish I had not made the mistake of grabbing Eiffel Tower. I don't know why I just went to Eiffel Tower. Really unusual error on my part. But oh well, it is what it is. Really not the end of the world. Kaiserliche Werft is just like a wonder that's nice to have when you want it, but it's definitely not a necessity by any means. Okay, they have cogs coming. So we can upgrade these. I think I'm just going to wait until I have line formation, so I don't need to go around and upgrade all those units multiple times. And down here, just need to avoid this guy ganking my unit here. See if we can find a safe spot to get up onto this island. That'll let me put down an outpost and claim those resources. Okay. So, decent-sized fleet here. Let's make sure we get our ironclads and get a few steam frigates. Those need another turn. And we need another turn on line formation. Okay. And then we'll have amassed our army, and we can go ahead and make our attack. Okay. Turn 149. Not too bad. Oh man, they're coming to me. Okay. Big mistake on their part. Upgrade all these units. This is the really nice part about having a ton of cash in the bank, right? And making 20k a turn. Basically at the very start of this era. Like, there's almost no limit on your ability to upgrade units and buy things out. I really like where kind of gold feels like it is right now. It feels like useful in a way that it maybe hasn't always. I'm not sure if that's just like me being better at the game now, or like an actual change to gold or anything like that. I'm really not liking how they've deployed all my transports along the front of this line here. I really don't need all these transport ships up here. I only want my real ships in the front doing damage. Whoops. Like, all these other units can just hang out back here. Come on. Let's see that. Let's see that. Alright. Then maybe we... Because they do have a couple up here. Wow, they have a lot of cogs. It sends like a couple up there, kind of my older tech units, just to defend that side. And then the ironclads are going to form a nice little line right here so that they can get some combat strength benefits. And will be the ones doing most of the chasing here. Okay. There they are. So let's move all these units up to engage. Oh, actually made a little bit of an error there. I thought I had selected an ironclad, but I selected the steam frigate. See, the ironclads get a combat strength benefit when they have 2 units adjacent to them. Thankfully, I was able to correct because of the relative speed of the steam frigates. And the steam frigates here are actually able to one-shot these cogs as well, thanks to some combat strength benefits. So we can just like knock out a whole line of cogs right here. These units are just going to stay put. We'll see if we need them. My guess is my units are strong enough that they're just going to spend this entire combat running away from me. Okay, Gnosis. Let's get the factory, maybe. Don't think I need the university in here. Guess we can get the conveyor belts as well. And I keep wanting to build this colonial office, but I don't actually see anywhere that it's feasible to build. Maybe we just get some more market quarters in here, since like we've really gone hard on these market quarters in the city. And then as far as tech goes, we go for electricity for the coal plants. Academy would be good for our science outputs. Microbiology would be nice for the city cap and reduce population and unit consumption. Could also grab combustion engine to get oil, and that would help me get trench warfare as well, or not help me get trench warfare, but the siege artillery, right, you need that oil, so I think probably good to unlock that, given the current situation that I'm in. Alright, let's just start playing aggressively here. Oh my god, this is so many cogs. This is kind of why it's nice to, like, hit the Navy early, though, in some ways. Is because all these units are eventually going to get upgraded, right? So by knocking them out early, it decreases the number of, like, steam frigates that you're going to have to defeat later. Now, the real threats are the... Actually, no, I can't buy that because it's in the battle zone. The real threats, of course, are the capital ships, but you can't build capital ships until you unlock the Men of War. The cogs unlock in the medieval, and they only upgrade into the light naval units. So they're not as big of a threat as, say, Men of War upgrading into the ironclads later down the line, but still nice to knock out naval power where you can. Makes some assaults later on a lot easier. Okay, we're just gonna kind of cut off this side. There's nothing else that they can shoot, which is kind of unfortunate. And up here, we're just going to go in a little line. I feel like they could maybe overwhelm at least a couple of my ships if they actually tried to attack me. But this is kind of like one of the funny parts of the combat AI in naval battles now. Just because of how naval battles are a little bit different with like return fire. So they'll kind of try to avoid attacking you. Alright. I'll do it for that turn. So let's go on to the next, and hopefully this turn will be able to knock out the rest of those units. Consolidating Werft is next on my list here. We're just going to go ahead and claim that. I don't think it's crazy important to build right away, but I guess if I like need more naval units, it would be nice to have before I actually start building them. If there's anywhere actually good to build this. 37 industry right there is actually not too bad as far as Consolidating Werft goes. 29 there. Just want to build it in the highest output location, I think. Or highest value output location. Which, yeah, that 37 industry is pretty good for a Kaiserliche, so we'll add it in up there. I'm just going to buy everything out in that city. Buy the sawmill here. Yep, we can work on Kaiserliche as well, and then we'll add in the factory. Gnosis, we can buy that factory. And buy that conveyor belt. Man, I love having this kind of money at this point in the game. I can just, like, I don't really have to build anything, it feels like. I can just buy everything that I need. Okay, this is going to be a little challenging to get an outpost here. See if I can sneak one up there. I don't think I'll be able to, but you never know. And then let's start mopping up down here. We'll move this unit in. Guess we can maybe do something like this. And yeah, they're just gonna sit here and lose all their units. It's kind of odd that they decided to bring in their reinforcements. Like, right, if I were them, and I know I'm losing this battle, I would choose to not bring my reinforcements in to save as many units as I can, right? Because otherwise I'm just going to lose all my reinforcements. But they brought in everything that they had just to lose them, right? So now they've probably lost most, if not all, of their navy. And that's going to clear the way for me to really go after them. Now, I don't have any mortars in these armies, I don't believe. I have a couple of units I can upgrade here. Yeah, I'm basically just going to be using the redcoats, but I do have several ironclads that should be sufficient to provide indirect fire support for attacking the city down here. So let's start moving with all these units. I'm actually going to buy a harbor right here just so these guys can like get out onto the ocean a little faster and keep up with everyone else. Arms deal, I'm going to refuse that. I really don't have an incentive to provide them with stronger units. And working conditions, 2 money per pop, -1 stability, +1 stability per population. Probably go with the money. I think I can manage the, which one is it? I think I can manage the reduced stability across these cities. Yeah. This one actually needs a little bit more. But otherwise, I'm looking solid. So, Iolkos. Let's see. Oh, wow, I don't even have a city watch in here yet. Let's buy that and immediately solve the issue. And I'm thinking I just, like, get some more hamlets in here. Because, like, look at how much excess population that I have. I mean, I could build some units if I wanted to, but I don't really feel like I need them right now. Microbiology, let's go for that, I think. Actually, I was going to go for trench warfare, wasn't I? Okay, let's see that. This is interesting. They shouldn't have very good transport ships. I think I can actually fight this. Maybe I'll regret saying that. Let's go right here. Yeah. I really like when they... I mean, from a, like, gameplay perspective, it isn't great that they attack you in these kind of situations, right? But from a winning the game perspective, and from a convenience perspective, I really like when they do that. Actually, I thought it was a different army that had attacked me, so this isn't really going to make a difference for me. But now we can actually sneak up on there and try to grab that. Gonna keep refusing white peace. They started this war, and I'm going to end it. They have no one to blame but themselves here, even though I was 1,000,000% going to do this anyway. Okay. Let's see, and there's my ships. Okay, and in here, man, I feel like I'm just producing everything so fast. I actually don't need the stock exchange there. Do I? Yeah, I'm mostly on science in here. Let's get the science infrastructure. Let's grab the rest of that industrial infrastructure. Kerma, what am I missing? Yeah, we can get some of those. Let's just add all this infrastructure in. I'm just going to buy some out as they become available. And let me take a look at my trade routes here. One's blocked. Looks like there's some going through here. Do I have the trade infrastructure in here? No. It wouldn't generate me any money anyway. Okay, that's fine. I'm not really doing much in the way of trade. They don't really have that much. They don't really have that much. Yeah. No one really seems to have anything other than me and the teal player. Okay, stock exchange, you can buy that one. I suppose we'll get the levy administration, because that leads to the taxation office, which gets you some extra money on luxury resources, which isn't too bad. And an okay amount of industry. Let's maybe get one more, just to get close to like 1,500. I feel like that's a pretty good amount for a city this size. And then, I don't know, maybe some science quarters? I do have some market quarters down here, but I think I could fill this area up with some research quarters. I go up in there. I feel like I'm pretty good on the amount of money that I'm generating right now, so I like don't feel like I have a ton of incentive to build even more of it. Hamlets, yeah, it's a nice hamlet there. I just need to like find space for all these pops that I have. This is part of the strength of getting Machu Picchu. And with the changes in Dante, you know, I've played a little bit behind the scenes as well, beyond what I've recorded. It has made it a lot easier to get some of the later era wonders, because the AI do feel slower to me. So Machu Picchu is a lot less competitive than it was before. Okay. One thing, yes, I get it. I get my resources are being sold. When those notifications pop up, they can kind of like block your tooltip here. I'm trying to look at the amount of industry that I'm getting. I just keep selling resources, it seems. Let's see. And buy copper there. I don't think that's really worth it. Blockages. Okay. War resolution. They just want a white peace now that I've completely destroyed their navy. Okay, they have more coming, but those units are not a threat in the slightest. Let's position units down here. And we're just going to go straight into a siege. I think up here, not quite enough movement to intercept those units, so have them come support the siege if they're able to. I attack from this direction. Okay. That way I can get all my ships involved, just in case they bring in any substantive reinforcements. Yeah, I'm not going to worry too much about the deployment there. I should just pretty much destroy these guys from the get-go. Let's move these ironclads up. Let's get some units onto land here. Just blow them up, blow those units up, and let's move some ships down this direction. I thought they had vision there. I suppose not. Ah, there's like a thing there. I don't know what to call it. Fog, I guess. And what else can I do? Okay, can hit them, can hit them. Can't see anyone else, so I'll just end the round for now. I don't need to really, like, drag this out. Okay, they have one knight coming in as a reinforcement. Don't think I am too worried about that. So redcoats will just destroy them. Okay. I was hoping I could get some more vision. There we go. Where do I have the closest ironclad? This one, probably? Okay. Can actually hit them from right here. There we go. See anyone down here? Oh, that was the last one. Okay. Great. So, nice, easy siege of Harappa there. The AI are like really... They really seem to believe that you're never going to declare a surprise war if they like win a thing in the Congress of Humankind. But like, what incentive do I have to not declare that surprise war, you know? So they'll like put those things up for a vote pretty consistently, and then like they can't actually handle a surprise war on you. It's just kind of like... if you're a player, right, it's weird behavior. I get that the AI are never going to be perfect, but it's not a mistake a player would probably ever make unless they're certain that they have other players that are going to gang up on you. Go for patriotic here, I guess. And over here, we can get some units up onto the land. Now, I don't think I'm going to need a huge amount of fire support. Oh, they played the English too, so they've got some longbows running around, which is kind of funny. But I think the units that are up here can probably just be quite destructive on their own without the need for supporting artillery, given the units that I've seen so far. Alright, Yokos, I guess let's get some of this military infrastructure in here. It's really cheap to get those things. We can get a factory in here. We can get a conveyor belt. I guess let's just like... I kind of like not having any infrastructure. It's just like a completionist thing, I guess. Great Fish Market's actually pretty good in here. And the market quarters now. So instead is kind of what I focused on. Okay. That makes sense. And Gnosis. Suppose we can get the Levy Administration. Levy Administration is such a bizarre infrastructure. It's like pretty bad. It leads to like an okay infrastructure later down the line. But like it itself is not a good infrastructure, and I basically don't build it until I'm like trying to get to a later infrastructure. Okay, sawmill. And I guess we can go for the science infrastructure down here. There's also oil, which I have unlocked now, so I should get those as soon as possible. I also have some oil down here, 2 in this territory actually. Nice thing about having a bunch of deserts. And yeah, I need population slots. This could be like a Chinese game, given the amount of spare population that I have. And then for tech, I'm thinking I now go into microbiology. Alright. I'll also need extra city cap. Everyone get up here. Let's send a couple armies down that way. And we'll send an army up that way. Okay, those are like reasonably advanced units. They're not super advanced, but they can move and fire. They're Rodiscan Regata. So they are enough of a threat that I'm going to play it safe, given that I don't know what other units they have in the rear there. Okay, and 37 food, don't think that's really worth it at this point, given the amount of food I'm producing. Guess let's get a theater for a little extra production, or not production, industry rather. And yeah, I mean, I could use a hamlet here too, just for some more population slots. Of course, get the basics, I suppose. Go for a factory. I guess we'll grab a fishmonger and fishery. Here, I think we probably need the same thing as well. Okay, should do for now. Alright, so we'll send these units up. I wish I had an upgrade for these knights, but that won't come until the next era. We don't want to destroy Notre Dame, so we'll just take the minus 30 money. That's really not going to have any impact on us whatsoever. These units I'm going to push forward, and then these units, because they're a little bit farther behind to begin with, I'm going to have these be the ones to engage. Alright, and then let's push forward here and see what we can see. Thankfully, because they had non-stealth units in that Rodiscan Regata army, they can't actually ambush me. And I'm happy to do some trade here. I'll just buy all the stuff that they have. Okay. I'm just going to keep this navy kind of around that new city there. Okay. Yeah, classic. That there are more aggressive independents on that island. And over in Depata, I think I probably need more slots. I do get another hamlet over there just to open up from some more slots. I suppose we can just grab some basics in here. Okay. Now let's see what some of these cities look like, if I'm able to. Okay, there's one there. I'm going to detach that unit there. And that way I can attack here and attack the city with my full force. I really only need one unit to take care of this guy. I can hop in the city here, which gives me a little defense. Now, they do have high ground, but I have walls, so it should kind of even out. And they're actually going to come into the walls to try to even that out. But won't do them much good. Okay, science investing for sure. And we'll go entertain. Ah, the brown player has declared war on me. Okay, that is my former vassal, I suppose. So let's upgrade all those units, and we're just going to position those units. Arsa, let's go there, and we're just going to buy a big ol' army here, I think. Let's just get these things out of the queue. 3, or 4 rather, 5, 6, 7. Let's do something like that. I don't really use machine guns very much, so we'll see how they do. That's actually not a very good investment here. We'll go for a little bit more influence, and then let's go back to building some research quarters. We'll get them in here. Okay. And tech. I suppose urban planning for the city cap, probably good. That'll take us through electricity to get us the coal plant. Push forward here, and I see the outline of the city here. See if they actually have any force here, or if they've kind of retreated. Doesn't seem like they really have much of anything. I mean, I know they had another army lying around. I'm actually just going to besiege that, because I'm worried about reinforcements, and wait for the other redcoats to join in. I might actually have this navy kind of come back in this direction to help out with taking out their the round player again. Okay, this is actually a lot more lopsided than the game would have you believe. Alright. Let's do that. Shoot down from there. We'll hit here. Hit here. We'll hop in here. We'll hop onto the flag. Suppose we can do that, and then we can hop in like that. And all those units can only hit that one, so not much I can do there. I guess I can move up here, and oh no, I'm getting zone controlled by something. Okay, well, no problem. We have the flag, so we're just gonna have to camp on that because of all these cogs that are driving around. We'll try to take out a bunch of these cogs, because I do want to try to be as efficient as possible in destroying these units, and they can't actually shoot back at me. So these redcoats will do a pretty good job of doing damage to them. Also get me a little bit more war support, as well as wear out their own war support. Yeah, they're just kind of hanging out up here. All right, let's do some damage with these redcoats. Let's see. And actually hit them from pretty much anywhere. Hit those ones, so we'll knock those out. Come down here and see what we can see. Okay. Plenty of cogs down here to attack. And we'll go there. Okay, so just going to try to do as much damage here as I can. Got a focus fire there. I suppose we'll hit that one. And see if Brown's actually doing anything. Oh, they have line infantry. Interesting. Okay, they're a little bit more advanced than I thought. Alright, we'll retreat here. we'll probably try to get this guy out into the water, though he might just be dead, I don't think, because I won't be able to get out from right there. That's okay, though. He's kind of a sacrificial lamb anyway. Okay, let's move him here. Oh, wow, okay. They're just kind of hanging out over here. Right, so, hit there. Hit there, then we can hit that one. Guys, don't think there's anyone that I can just destroy, which is too bad, because I only have one turn left. So let's bring a supporting unit over here. And then if they both hit this guy, can take that out. Oops. Let's maybe go here, because then I can get focus fire. Then I can maybe get some combat strength adjacency there. There we go, just like that. And then I don't think there's really anything else I can do. I'll just sit on the flag just in case there's something I'm forgetting about, some kind of melee unit. But we're looking good there, so we'll take that city. And up there, we're waiting one more turn. All right.
Lightning.
There's electricity, world deed, competitive deed rather. I'm building trebuchets, so I have red coats sieging the city, classic. They'll just go right in on this one, just like the last one. Can reposition some units around here. Okay. Guess we'll take that shot, because why not? I think we can do something like that. Oh, these are units that moved. I thought they were units that started adjacent to the city. That was my mistake. No big deal. Those here, let's move them over there. All right. Start working on the Spy Master here. Gonna take more hits to kill that guy than I thought he would. Wow, okay. All 4 of those. I'm kind of wondering if it's best to just vassalize blue here. I kind of want to take Harappa just so I have a foothold, and that is probably their strongest city. And they have a lot of wonders in it. Let's see, refuse that. Here. I wouldn't mind having some artillery down here, given that Brown is quite a bit more technologically advanced than I expected them to be. But we're going to just go for quick siege here and see what this looks like. Okay. Pretty sure I win this pretty easily, so we're just going to go right in on it. Let's position our artillery kind of up on the high ground up here. And they should be able to hit everything that I need them to. There we go. Up in the city here. And all these units can kind of start shuffling into better attack positions. Over here, yeah, because that's an independent people, so no one can actually move through there. So that looks okay. Not much else we can do, actually. So these musketeers right here. Oh, those are musketeers, not line infantry. So they haven't fully upgraded everything that they have yet. Let's see. Let's get a city watch in here. I'm losing a little bit of stability. Bring those units down. And then over here, let's continue to eliminate all these threats. Just like that. Anyone else? There's a knight. Oh, he's up here. Okay. We should be able to knock them out. That'll conclude that battle there. Alright. This city, I'm thinking coal plants, maybe? Then I guess let's get some of that science infrastructure. I'm not really focused on science in here. Maybe I probably skipped that university. Those Great Fish Market is fine. Factory's fine. Gnosis. Definitely the coal plants. I suppose we can get the aqueduct as well. And yeah, 125 food. Or why not? And let's get a couple hamlets maybe. I'll just start with the one. I might actually just buy that one just to get some more population slots. Yeah, and then we can a nice little hamlet over there as well. So that'll get most of our unemployed populace to work. Good on stability, so let's just fill in the science around the Eiffel Tower there, and then we'll keep that going for a few turns. Yeah, what I should do there, hit those musketeers, and now these ones right here won't have dug in anymore. Let's get some more units up into firing position. Ah, okay. So they can only hit those ones. Let's do that. Let's hit here, let's hit there. There we go. That's one musketeer down, one to go. Basically the only real threat there. Nothing we can do about that unit, and he's just gone, which is fine. It's really not the end of the world. Now we're just going to pour it onto these musketeers here. And their walls are gone as well, actually, which is going to make my life a little bit easier. Where's their flag? It's up there. Okay, so I can't get it this round of combat, but I should be able to finish this combat up next turn. Yeah, they have that drafty still alive. I mean, unless they come and attack me. Okay, they're gonna survive with like 1 hit point left. We'll just do that. Okay, nice and easy there. And over here, the Catamulus. Yeah, there's something about like the structure of that is very difficult for me to pronounce, and I'm not sure why. It just like those words together are just like getting caught in my tongue, or those letters together rather. Okay. And we could get a wonder. I don't think I really care about any of those. I think what I'll do, now let's just get around kind of the side here, make an attack on these units. I'm hoping they get caught by this army, and then I can attack them again this turn. No, one too few tiles. Okay, coal plants, and then we have plenty of industry in here. So let's just continue with the money insanity. And Corral. Yeah, can get the basics. Yolkos. Man, we have like so much excess population in these cities. I can't believe how many hamlets I'm building this game. You get attached right here as well. I think I'm going to do that just to give a few more population slots, as well as give me some more locations to build things. I might just go for some research quarters. Political entitlement. Extra combat strength on militia. Yeah, we'll take that. Okay. Parsa is done with its queue. Let's add a few things in there. Not even really looking at the outputs anymore. I'm just like trying to occupy these production queues at this point. I think I'm going to go for the extra research slots just so I can like really pound through the tech tree here. And I guess let's grab encyclopedia just for academy. I'm not worried about like nationhood or military coordination really. The reduced cost on units is nice, but it's not super important for me. I pretty much have the army that I need at this point. Where is this city? It's over there. Okay. Well, at least I can trespass, so we can just go ahead and move right through this territory. Oh, I'm actually at war with them. They are a vassal. Where is the city center that one tile that I can't see? That's funny. Okay. Here, we definitely want to make this attack. I think over here we go ahead. Oh, okay, so more units here. Let's attack here first. Oh, wow. Oh, wow. Okay. That was unexpected. Okay. I'm not loving this river system. Guess let's do something like this. The problem with the Rodiscan Regatta is they're going to be able to shoot me without me knowing exactly where they are. Now, we can use these knights to try to occupy the flag and try to force them to play aggressively. Those units can't come in because they're retreating. Wish I had another army here. Do as much damage to these units as we can. Actually, I'm going to take out those knights just to reduce the amount of mobility that they have. Now, I will have dug in, which is going to increase my resilience quite a bit. Not on all my units, but quite a few of them. But I am worried about losing some units here. Like, they have so much firepower with units that they're going to have on the battlefield. This is actually going to be a little challenging to win this one. I didn't realize quite how many units they had. Might need to get another army and send them over. I think I'm... Like, now at this point, I'm going to need indirect fire support, so I'm going to start buying out some more units in Parsa here, which is really doing a number on the population of the city, but it'll grow back quickly thanks to Machu Picchu. Those I do have the military infrastructure there, so that's all good. Alright. My units here can push forward. Alright, I can't move through there because that's an independence. I suppose police force. And, man, I don't have the granary yet. Why not? I could get some train stations, but I kind of want to just hold out for the airports. I mean, I could go for the competitive deed, right, of connecting two cities with a train station. Like if I do this, and if I do like right there. There we go. So we'll just get a little bit of extra fame. Okay, let's take a look at what our problem is going to be here. Ooh, man, okay. Should have paid more attention to all their reinforcements. Okay, what's the best way to do this? Let's move here, get them off the river. They can hit the Rodiscan Regatta. And I lost a red coat and a knight already. And I need to eliminate them. Or eliminate them. Just pull them back a little bit. And destroy those knights. I'd really like to be able to get to these longbows with these knights. Okay, which I can. So let's move there, and then I can get some adjacency. And now I can guarantee killing those longbows. That's actually a really nice use for my knights. Knock those guys out. And I would like to be able to guarantee I can destroy those units. Because if I move here, still not a guarantee. Ah, that's a real bummer. Okay, so I'll shoot them there, and I'll shoot those guys here. Trying to position these units such that I could guarantee a kill with these guys and shoot a different unit with these guys. Okay, so I lost both my knights, which is fine. They're super old technology units. I want to try to preserve my red coats as much as possible. These ones are going to really get piled on just because they're low health. Yep, there they go. Unfortunate that I don't have other units that I can bring in there. This is part of the trouble with our first conquest in a foreign continent, right, is that it's actually very difficult to reinforce your units. Now, we can do that. I think we have to just play for the flag here. We're going to want a high health unit to do that. So move that unit there. I'm going to keep this unit here just so he gets dug in next turn. Now, question is, do I want to leave this unit? I think it's better to just pull them out so I don't lose even more units. Okay, they're distributing their fire. Looks like they're going to be able to kill this unit here, but I should win the battle just by holding onto the flag. Let's see what they do. Okay, they are trying to focus fire the units on the flag down now. I've done a good bit of damage to their army here, but I'm gonna have to recoup my forces to really do anything solid. Okay. Alright, I will take that result. I lost some units there. Now I can pay to heal these redcoats, and I can still snipe out these units here that are currently retreating. Yeah, I can handle that pretty easily. Probably... Yeah, let's try to hit these longbows first. So we'll hit there, hit that unit, and then we can knock out those great swords. Because the great swords I'll retaliate against when they attack me like that and just knock them out, whereas the longbows can just do straight damage to me. They're only doing like 1 or 2 damage hit, but I'll take it. Alright. Alright, let's regroup. Get those units together. This army's gonna retreat. Should have moved them first, most likely. Now down here, we can go ahead and go for an assault. Now I could just instant resolve this. I think I'm going to. I don't think I need to play that battle. Just want to do a ton of damage to Brown, really. Let's see. They're losing most of their war support. We'll just revassalize them after this war. Over here, okay. They're going to intercept me if I move those units, so we'll just have them hang out for a moment. Depata. Okay, let's make sure you have the basics in here. And Gnosis. I could build an obelisk. I'm at a point where I'm not sure what to... let's do Symposium, maybe, just for the extra science. It's a pretty big boost to science, and we can do a trade fair as well, that extra 20%. Like, my outputs are insane in my capital. I mean, I guess that'll happen if you've played the Mughals and the British. Right, I forgot about that city there, actually. Maybe I should repurpose my navy to go after those units. Let's get this territory up and running here. Let's get this territory going. Looks like we'll have some, like, uranium down here, or aluminum. I know uranium tends to spawn on those islands a lot, so that would be my bet, but you never know. Let's see. How much to vassalize them here? 400, which is exactly what I have. I want to still take Harappa, so I'm going to keep pushing for more war score there. Because I am pretty sure that I will be able to do that. Okay. Here. Absolutely not. You are my vassal, and I will accept nothing less than full revassalization. We'll take the long way around, I suppose. These units should be able to handle the siege by themselves. I want to make sure they're as far as they can go before I start this. There we go. We'll assault. And yeah, we're just gonna pop right in there. Let's consolidate our forces a little bit here. We'll take out those Jaguar warriors, take out those peasants, and we'll take out those Jaguar warriors because they're the only ones that I can hit. All right. I have an event here, overlook, and could attack Garama. Okay. I'll move those units down, assault here, and I think this is probably just another instant resolution. Yep. Okay. Now, can I... Oh, they've... Yeah, I'll take that extra health regen. Those units are just gonna idle while they wait for some reinforcements. Then go ahead and attack those cogs. And in here... I guess they still have a unit running around somewhere, probably in there. Okay, easy peasy. Okay. Let's see. Do I have enough? No. Yeah, I need to occupy more of their stuff, I guess. Feel like I should have enough occupied already, but I suppose not. Let's attack here. By instant resolve, what's the outcome? Oh, I lose a unit? Absolutely not. Okay, let's move all of these ironclads into a line. And we're just going to do a wave forward here. Yeah, like there's no way I would actually lose ships here given the practical behavior of the AI in these kinds of situations. Guess we'll go like right there. Alright, I'm gonna shoot the ones in the back first, I think. Just because I know the steam frigates won't be able to reach those, and the steam frigates can worry about the ones kind of in the front. That one can't actually reach anyone, so we'll shoot there. Alright. War resolution, absolutely not. Yeah, I can't do anything there. Everyone is going to be my vassal. I'm also at war with Pink now, who is a vassal. Okay, let's concentrate our forces up here. We're just going to hit Mohenjo-Daro with overwhelming amounts of redcoats. Yes, wireless telegraphy. How much more do I need for that science star? One more. Almost to the aesthete stars. Still need to attach some territories. Guess maybe we can attach right here. That'll get us one of the expansionist stars. Then we still need two more attachments, so one here and one there. That's something we can do. Let's buy some rail stations first. Sure, right there. We can also just buy an aerodrome, because why not? And let's attach. Let's attach. That tanks the stability here. Suppose we can get the police force to help out a little bit. And the garrison will do a lot for us as far as stability is concerned. There we go. Really nice to just be able to buy your way out of stability issues. Oh no, I don't want to replace the aerodrome. I'll just do that. Okay. Resolve stability issues. And here, just push up our line again. Okay. Hit there. Hit there. Okay, I can't hit anything again. Okay. Artillery. Make sure you are following along in tow behind our main armies. Don't think I need to move all of my units up here. Let's just do the bare minimum that we actually need. Just like that. Oh, they have some other ships hanging around somewhere. I think they're probably back this way. These turtle ships are actually decently strong. I feel like they probably reinforced over here. Suppose we can explore down in this direction as well. That's going to take a little longer than I thought then. I thought this combat would be done this turn. It seems like they're probably not over there. There we go. Okay. So we'll move our ironclads in. See, screwed up getting the ship of the line buff. Alright. Over here, I think we can attack here. We just want to make as much progress towards the city as possible. What we really want to do is just increase the amount of war support that we have so we can demand vassalization. That's pretty much the only important parts of this. If we're trying to just win this game as quickly as we possibly can. I suppose, you know, we could just, like, peace out of the wars and go for a science victory, but what's the fun in that? Okay, fertilizer plant, maybe? And, yeah, let's just, like, finish up some of these. Over here, we can grab a university. Sure, grab grain silos, why not? And then we can go back to producing obscene amounts of market quarters. Down here, yeah, let's just get some of these things. Okay. Oh, didn't end the round here. Okay, they're just hanging out there, so we'll knock them out. And away we go. Okay, too many notifications. We'll attack here. Come on. I don't want to initiate. What will happen if we instance? We'll lose a whole bunch of redcoats, which we do not want. Alright. We're going to just concentrate up in this area here, because this is away from their ships that we don't really want to deal with. We could hit them with artillery, but I think probably best to just avoid them. So we're just going to be kind of funneling through these areas right here, but it's not really that big of a deal. Knock that guy out in one shot just because we can. Can he hit anyone? Can he hit anyone? No. Okay, so we're going to rely on our artillery to blow open some holes here. Here we can... Let's shoot them, and these guys can just knock out a unit straight up, so I'm going to take advantage of that. Okay, one more artillery will hit there. And I suppose these redcoats, you just kind of put them in position to reinforce, but there's only so many units I can actually move through this gap at any given time. Alright, we'll grab military coordination, not nationhood, military coordination. And let's try this on Mohenjo-Daro again. Reinforcements. Yeah, I mean, they have plenty of reinforcements, but I am in a much better position this time to deal with them. Don't want to lose that many units, so we'll go for another manual battle here. I'm not going to fret too much about the deployments, though I would prefer to have all my forces concentrated up here. I don't think there's any real reason to deploy kind of on the plains down in that area. It's all low ground, and it's not particularly strategic for attacking this city. So we're just going to concentrate everyone. Alright. Can destroy those units. Wow, they still have runners. That's pretty wild. Move those units up here. Now this is kind of a dangerous position because of how many different locations my opponent could potentially attack me from. But I am trying to play a little bit more on the aggressive side right now. Okay, we can knock those longbows out. Here we can hit those draftees, hit those Radiscan Regata. I think we can hit them from there as well as from here if we wanted. Let's maybe push forward here. Just get the lay of the land. Alright, I'm going to do that. Can I hit those Radiscan Regata from anywhere else? I can hit them from here. So I want to get both of these units over the fortifications here, just like that. Here I'm going to concentrate on these Radiscan Regata because I can get some supporting fire there as well with all these other units. And hopefully enough to knock them out, just like that. And here, okay, we'll knock out those great swords just because we can do it in one hit. And those guys are just reinforcements. Alright. Suppose we could bring the ships in here. These ironclads mowing through some peasants. I think I don't want to manage too many units, so I'm just going to bring the ironclads in for now. Up on the flag here. Doesn't seem like I'm actually going to need to do that much here. Yeah, I think I've destroyed all their land units. They're just going to bombard me a little bit. Oh, they have more ships than I thought. Thankfully, it doesn't seem like they removed again. Alright. I think what I'm going to do, I'm going to use these ironclads to attack first before I bring in any reinforcements, because they're kind of in a position where they're getting the line of battle buff. Now I can bring in some additional ones. We can also benefit from the line of battle buff. We'll hit that one, I guess, because we do the most damage. And these steam frigates will push forward because they have a bunch of movement. Okay, we'll knock those guys out. And I suppose... let's move them there. No one else can actually hit anyone from where they are. Go here. Would be nice to knock out some of these units, just so it, like, the AI has to rebuild before they rebel again, or at least try to rebel. And I have to, like, go back and conquer all their cities yet again, but there's only so much I can really do here because it's the last round of combat. I mean, I did a decent amount of damage, though. I knocked out quite a few of them. Okay, Parsa. We've attached a bunch of territories here. I don't have max stability, so let's just get a couple more garrisons. Maybe we'll just kind of get them in the corner over here, and then we can add a couple more Maker's Quarters. Okay. Iolkos. Sure, we'll get that basic stuff in there. And down here... Right, that unit has taken a lot of damage, so definitely time to get them out. Pull them all the way back. That's the danger of that particular spot, right? Is the amount of fire that they can get. Get a nice little firing line all around any unit that is located in that position. Can you hit anyone? Yeah, you can hit those. I'd like to be able to knock out kind of this side. I think I'm going to move them there so I can get some more fire on that Rodiscan Regatta there. Get them. Let's move into the city here. Knock out those longbows. They can't hit anyone from there. Okay, so let's do that. Oops. And then maybe hit here. And that way I can move this guy forward onto the flag and get another unit into the city. And I think this location looks a lot safer now that I've done a pretty good amount of damage to the units that they have out running around. Alright, so I'm going to move that guy here because that'll give me fire onto that unit. And I can't quite get adjacency there, but I did manage to get a little bit lucky and knock him out anyway. Okay. Any other combats going on? No, just this one. I'm losing track of the number of combats that I have. How much do I need to vassalize? Right, I have exactly what I need. So I'm hoping after I capture Mohenjo-Daro here, I can maybe take a city and vassalize them. Just because I do need, like, a base of operations. Now, I don't remember. I feel like if you... Is that everyone? No, they have one unit left. I don't think there's really anything they can do here. Just scout around a little bit. Okay, I'll just end the round. Because I'm about to win anyway, so no big deal. Okay. Now, how much do I have? I still only have 400. Is that the most you can get now? I would really like to take Harappa. But if I vassalize them, because I feel like you steal vassals, right? So I could vassalize the Joseon now. And I think if I vassalize here, I also get all of their vassals. So let's try it. Yes. So that means that I only need to vassalize yellow, and then I can win. Okay. So we're just going to go right in for it, because we're already in a position to do this. Yeah, they only have this one city. So we can actually just win the game right here. Nice use of redcoats, really. I do like the redcoats. They're a pretty solid unit. Oh, actually, I can't siege from this, so I need one more turn. Okay, that's fine. Use that. Okay, that's nice. The extra war support. Everyone that isn't over there can just sleep. And you can, I mean, I could start building so many colonial offices, which is kind of fun to disrupt my kind of opposing players here. I'm just gonna I wish they had like better suggestions for these, because I don't really know where to put them. Yeah, it's pretty wild that you can just like blow up their districts, you know? Like I could just build it over. Oh my god, I can build it over the Great Mosque. Does this actually replace the Great Mosque if I... Hold on. Is it that one? If I put that there... Oh, it's not actually letting me construct it there. Okay. But I could theoretically build it over, like, unique districts, right? Yeah. Just say goodbye to all your unique districts. It's kind of a pretty funny way to, like, if you were playing against another player and vassalized them, I guess don't get vassalized by the British is the lesson here. Do an assault. And, yeah, let's just instant resolve my way to victory here. There we go. And war resolution, refuse that. So we'll have to wait a turn here. Since they've offered me surrender and I refused it. Nationhood is done. Guerrilla warfare is next. Alright, and we'll end the turn. And here we go. Ask for surrender. Become a vassal. Alright, everyone's vassalized. So we should trigger the end of the game here. So we're just going to put everyone on station. Everyone else is just going to have a bunch of stuff in their queue. Just like that. And then we don't care about Republic Evolution because we are about to trigger the end of the game since we have now vassalized everyone. Not bad for completing the first game of the Dante update. It does feel like the AI are a decent bit slower now, and that's kind of been true across some of the other games that I've played too, with the update. I'm not sure how I feel about it from like a single player perspective. It does make the early game harder in some respects, but it also makes it harder for the AI as well because they don't really know how to manage their outputs very well, especially with like having to provide food for their military, and they tend to overproduce military to begin with. So I don't really know what the solution is. Maybe the like higher difficulty AI just like need some buffs to their food output or something. Let's take a look at food here. Actually, this player had decent food for a lot of the game until I attacked them, that is, and took over their stuff. But otherwise, like these other players were struggling with it. And you know, I know that they have bigger militaries than me for a lot of the game. Yeah. Right, like they're paying a ton of food upkeep, right, for this military, right? So we're looking at this player right here that's highlighted. They're paying a ton of food upkeep for this military, but the amount of food that they have is basically the same as mine, right? So it kind of cripples their outputs a little bit. And you can see like my influence generation is just way higher because a lot more of my, especially as you get later, a lot more of my population is in my cities compared to being in an army. So yeah, I don't know. Interesting changes. I'll be curious to see how they develop this going forward, and if they like do any kind of AI balancing or culture balancing around this. I understand, you know, because like it's a pretty big change, especially for the ancient and the classical eras is where you really feel the most impact. So I can understand not really wanting to make any balance adjustments quite yet because it can have some pretty dramatic impacts. But I do think some will probably be necessary. So thanks for tuning in for this one, and you know, looking forward to see you in the next game of Humankind once I pick that up. And eventually come August when I will hopefully be playing some Endless Legend 2. So cheers, see you soon.